Happy New Month to all our viewers across the globe. The Igbo politicians have taken a very dramatic step, unusual steps, uh, unlike their antecedents, to visit the Igbo communities in trade fair, where they express great dissatisfaction over the destruction of properties, Igbo properties. Igbos are mainly affected over this wanton destruction of properties. Certain, there is no reason for embarking on such massive destruction, citing closer proximity to canal. Some express that this is not closer to the canals. Why are Igbos being targeted across Nigeria? How long will that continue? Do you consider that movement by these Igbo leaders the way to go? Could there be anything positive that may come from that?
Okay, it is not new in this country that the Igbo man is targeted. It is not new in Nigeria that there is a hold them down philosophy against the Igbo man. It is not new that in this country there are certain people who are not comfortable with the growth of the Igbo man. It is not new that in this country there are certain people who are very jittery about the Igbo man's presence. You understand? Because it is the nature of the Igbo man to move like a tsunami as far as development is concerned. And so in this land, Lagos, and other parts of this country, Nigeria, some people are not comfortable with the Igbo man. Why on earth should the Lagos state government go to trade fair, which is an official place given to these traders, Igbo traders, by the Lagos state government, and begin to destroy buildings that the same Lagos state government permitted these traders to build from the onset? Exactly. Now they have built these, buildings worth billions. You now come back and destroy the building, saying that a big gutter is now a canal, and that these buildings are closer to a canal. Were you stupid? Were you blind when you collected money from them and allotted those places to them? You see, this is another manifestation of the hold them down philosophy against the Igbo man in this country. And I appreciate the politicians, Igbo politicians, who come to show solidarity. You understand? Oh, see me, Oswanya. Oh, maybe you understand? And so the solidarity is acceptable, is right, is commendable. But then I always say, they are talking about trade fair, they are talking about computer village, they are talking about other markets. We have had situations in this Lagos where unknown people believed to be government agents set large markets, Igbo markets, on fire in order to force them to relocate to a very timid place that they may develop that same place. Now, we Igbos are tired of that, and that cannot continue. You labor, raise billions, and the government come to destroy the billions.
I strongly believe that the government agency responsible for urban development and building may have supervised this construction.
They know.
These are gigantic constructions.
They know.
Running into billions.
They know.
Not one, not two, not 10 properties.
They know. So it is the same hold them down philosophy playing out.
Thereafter, they now consider it illegal. Why they supervise the process of
they know from the onset,
and the rest of them.
They collected the money for their allocations and all of that. You understand? Now, somebody said, if a boy does not behave like he wants to sleep with his mother, his father would not know that he's matured enough to get married. You see, one problem we Igbos have is that we overflaunt peacefulness. And I don't buy that idea. In life, there are times you must fight. And if you don't fight, you go down dead. And that's why God himself declared war in heaven against Lucifer and his angels. Fought them, defeated them, and threw them out of heaven, and then peace reigned in heaven. You understand? How can you have Igbos as the 80% importers in this country? More than 80%, we Igbos control the commerce sector of the economy. And so when you talk about market, importation, exportation, and all of that, it rests with us. Now, how can you have only one seaport in Lagos where there is no sea? Because Lagos does not have sea. Lagos has beaches. Now you allow that port to be the only one working, while the Calabar seaport, which is the main belly of the Atlantic Ocean, is there, not working. Port Harcourt, it's not working. It is in Port Harcourt that the largest ship on earth bettered the other time. It can happen in Lagos. Warri, the same thing, connected to the belly of the Atlantic Ocean. And now the ports there are not working. You make only the port here working. See, where the seaport is, their business will be. Where business is, there the Igbo man will be. You understand? And so the problem the Igbo man has living Lagos is because the seaports over there in the east are not working. And we cannot expect our enemies, those who hate our prosperity, to come build those seaports and make them work. Because they know that the moment the seaports in the east are working, Igbos will ferry their containers from all over the world down to the east. And Lagos seaport will be down. And so the god of Lagos politics knows that. And that is what they are doing. And so Igbos have got to get mad. Those politicians who came, those business moguls in the east, those warriors in the east, everybody.
Peter B was there in the company, Tinetume, Abaribe, and their likes.
They have to come out and say that we must make the seaports work.
Exactly, in the east.
If the heaven is going to fall, let heaven fall. We, Igbos, only Igbos will develop Igbo land. The Hausa man will never. The Yoruba man will never develop the east. It is the responsibility of the Easterners. You understand? And so let them come together and say that we don't even need the federal government's money.
Of course.
We develop the east. We develop the seaports there. And so if anybody cares, the Igbos can leave Lagos for them. What do you have? What do you have? What do you have? Is anything special about a trade fair? I'm talking about the land. We can move the market down to the east. If the seaports are working and our containers come over there, you move your container either from Calabar or from Port Harcourt or from Warri down to anywhere you want to move it in the east, and you sell your stuff. You understand? We have got to stop this nonsense. I keep telling you, until we'll fight, there will be no peace. There has to be a war.
In this time around, it should be legal war to defend your rights.
No. And we have to build those seaports. We have to make those seaports work. Come sun, come rain, come war, come thunder. Because that's the only solution. The Nigerian government, federal government of Nigeria, we have been playing politics with it and does not want it to happen.
Now, don't you think that Eastern politicians are also the problem, just citing the governors, if they have collective collaboration on developing the Eastern development roadmap, I think they should have insisted to build their own seaports.
They are political stooges. These Igbo politicians are political stooges. They are political slaves to the caliphate, where the Nigerian political power is enthroned. You understand? So they know the system. They know the power of the system. And that's why I say that the problem with this country is the political system. A few men, led by one man, are controlling the country, taking decisions that affect the life of everybody. And And they are the ones perpetuating this hold them down philosophy against the Igbo man. Someone here is afraid of the Igbo man. Because like I said, we move like a tsunami as far as development is concerned. And I believe also that there are persons outside the world who are afraid of the Igbo man. Like that idiot said in London during the war when a meeting was held. He said we have one Japan to contend with. Therefore, we cannot afford to have another Japan. Referring to the Igbo man as Japan. You understand? So they are afraid of us. They want to hold us down. And they're using internal persons to perpetuate this. And so the political system is a problem. That's why I tell you, we have got to fight. If you think that through the political system or through the politicians it's going to be done, no. We have got to fight to make sure that the seaports in the east are working. To hell with the federal government's money. We have enough money to make those seaports work. Igbos and their eastern brothers have enough money to make the seaports work. Until we come out and say enough is enough of this intimidation.
I understand
that place cannot work.
That Igbos has enough money, but having enough resources again, but not having the policy, not being in control of the policy formations. Just like Enugu is considered as international airport, but you can't ferry a cargo down to Enugu.
You are talking about Enugu. What about Anambra State cargo airport? That's been built the largest in West Africa.
The largest in West Africa?
If not Africa. Largest cargo airport is in Anambra State. Built, and federal government is refusing to permit it to work. It is the same hold them down philosophy that someone is perpetrating against.
So how do Igbo go about the concession
fight
to make it work?
Fight. If you don't fight, Igbo land will never develop. When we come out and tell the world that enough of this, we want to develop that place with our own money, our own resources, our own self. We want to develop it. Then let somebody come and tell us that because of the Nigerian system, we will not do that. Then we will ask that person, before Britain came here, how were we living? Were we not doing anything? Were we not a nation? East was a nation, West was a nation, North was a nation.
500 years ago, before even the amalgamation of Nigeria.
Yes, before Britain came here. I understand that Portuguese came 1400. You understand? And many years after that, Britain came. We own the land. They met us here when they came. They met us running our life when they came. It's not as if we are a product of Britain. No. They impact on what they call business exploration. That's what Britain did. To find lands where they were going to see mineral resources to develop Britain. They were not Father Christmas going about the world giving people money. No. They came and they saw what we have and they stood. And they brought all manner of rubbish into our political system for their own good. And this
for their own good and to the detriment of the origins.
Britain care not about who you are. If they colonize you, they take what you have and go home and better their lives. They don't care if you're dying.
Now, this recent move, I consider it as a wake-up call for the Igbos. I don't know if I'm mistaken. Only time will prove me otherwise. But then, that is the first time after the demise of the internal leader, Dim Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, that the Igbo politicians are considering showing such level of solidarity. Some of them express dissatisfaction. We do hope that that will bet a new Igbo generation and
it's
transformation.
Not about talking. It's not about visiting the site. It's not about expressing pain and sympathizing with the people. It's about the action that will produce the revolution that will develop Igbo land. For goodness sake, you cannot make Lagos the only working seaport. And you see the problem it is causing. Too much of containers, nowhere to park the containers.
Congestions.
Too much of traffic congestions and all of that. It causes so much problem. And it has also caused, population problem in Lagos. Because if other regions develop, Lagos will become decongested because people will go back. Everyone comes to Lagos because here is where the business is, based on the fact that this is the only working seaport, and that is wrong.
What is your opinion about Nigeria at 65 and the place of Igbo man? How do you consider the state of development? I was stranded while coming down here. I was so disappointed. After 65 years, Lagos, considered as a mega city, does not have a formidable transport or road network system. Transportation system is in comatose. It's underdeveloped. 65 good years. Nigerians are stranded on the streets of Lagos and across other regions of the country. What does that tell us about the independence?
Nigeria is not independent. Nigeria is a slave in the hand of Britain. Nigeria is being run by British political philosophy. And like that is not enough. APC, through Buhari and Tinubu's government, sold Nigeria into the hand of China. Did you know that somebody who works with Nigerian Port Authority said that there are 3 people who take money majorly from the port?
From the port?
Yes. And China is one of them. He said what goes into the pocket of the government, federal government, is peanuts. The god of Lagos politics, the king of Lagos, and China. How will Lagos develop? How will Nigeria develop? When a few people have hijacked the economy. How will Nigeria develop when one man from the north has 36 oil wells in the east?
One man?
Yes. How can Nigeria develop when northern powers have hijacked the minerals resources in the east? How will Nigeria develop when gold was being mined in Ondo State since 1987?
Ondo State?
Yes.
Apart from that of Zamfara?
Zamfara is just of yesterday. Yes. Now Zamfara, the gold is being mined. I saw online from a thick bush. Road was created. Bad road was created. And I saw jet plane flew from that bush out into the sky from where gold is being mined. It's nothing to celebrate about this country. Every time I think about this country, I feel like I should have power to do the needful. Until Lucifer was flushed out of heaven, there was no peace in heaven. Until these evil men are flushed out of this country, there will be no peace. If we continue to remain one Nigeria, this country will never go anywhere. Why? Forever and ever, Hausa man will remain an Hausa man. Forever, the Yoruba man will remain a Yoruba man. Forever, the Igbo man will remain an Igbo man. Igbo man will never accept brotherhood with the Yoruba man. We are not one. How someone will never tell you that it's the same with the Yoruba man or the Igbo man. We are not the same. Zeke said it. Awolowo said it. Tafawa Balewa said it. He said we are too different to be one. He said this amalgamation cannot work.
He said it
Three
clearly.
of them. And these are people we hold in high esteem as our founding fathers.
Just exactly. I think it's a moment of reflection.
So
And
what is anybody doing? What is anybody saying about one Nigeria? It doesn't exist. It will never work. Nigeria will never work until we practice regional government or true federalism. The people who own the resources must control their resources. It is the people that will feed the federal government. It is not for the federal government to go to the people and collect their resources, take it to Abuja, and now give the people peanut to run their life. Federal government is being a thief. And that's why I said that law that says that every resources onshore and offshore in this country belong to federal government is a criminal tool in the hand of the federal government to exploit the people. In a true democracy, the people who own the land and water, where you find the mineral resources, should control the mineral resources.
whatever is embedded beneath.
And pay percent to the federal government. So you see that the federal government has less responsibility, and the main developmental responsibility is now to the people who own the resources.
Exactly.
And whatever they want to turn their place, they turn it with what they have. Then they can develop at their own pace. So the way this country is being run, this country will never prosper, will never go forward until the right thing is done. And you will continue to see all these kind of things that have been done to the Igbo man. Give him a place, a bush, a swamp. In a few years, he turns it into a mega city.
After several decades, it becomes an illegal property.
Then, when he has built it, now you remember you are the owner of the land, and you come claiming the land, and you come telling him to move from that place. That is madness. Until madness meets madness in this country, there won't be solution.